What's up, YouTube? John here. Well, here's where we left off. Got the heads off, ready to clean up. More importantly, shop heater is now working again. Just ordered a brand new gas valve for this, thinking that that was the issue. Turns out, user error. I'm just an idiot. So, had the gas hooked up, everything else was working. I haven't used it since last fall. Got the pilot to go on, but every time I clicked it on, the pilot would shut out. And I kept going back and forth thinking it was some major issue. No, came back today, I climbed up there with the flashlight. It was turning the thing off. So stupid, pure stupidity, stupid error on my part. But she's back up and going. I don't know why I keep showing you guys that. It's not like you guys can feel the warm heat that's coming out of there, but it is a whopping 29, 32 degrees right now. It's freezing. It's been flurrying and snowing all day. It was 42 degrees in the garage when I came out here. It's now 55, getting up to 65. It's also not going to show up on the thermostat, but here's where we're at. I was staring at this. The cylinders are in pretty good shape on this. There's definitely some cross-hatching, but there's also some glazing. They look really good. There's no wear. There is an F and an R stamped on the side of these. Definitely aftermarket cylinders, not that that matters to me, but based on how nice the chambers on the heads are, I don't think there's a lot of runtime, but we're already this far and I have base gaskets coming. So I think I'm gonna pull the mag, which I've never done. So I'm gonna do this the way that kind of makes sense to me. Could be completely wrong, just going based on what it looks like, and see how this goes. There's a good chance I'm doing all of this wrong, so this is not an instructional video, but I've been staring at this on the mag. We got the cap and stuff here. There's 2 bolts on this lower plate. I think I'm going to undo these 2 bolts and see what happens. I don't remember if the mag slides all the way through this or if I need to take the 4 bolts off of the top of the mag and separate that from the round plate here. We're going to see what happens. So I'm going to start with those 2 bolts first just because it seems like that should work. That will give me the adjustment left and right for pulling the timing, or adjusting timing. It'll pivot on those 2, and then kind of go from there. I don't know how else this would go in, but we're going to start with that. And if I'm way wrong, I'll learn quickly and figure out what else I need to take off. Or my other thought is there might be a bolt underneath that, but we need to get rid of this first. I don't really know. I'm taking on way more work here than I need to, because it was running. And it wasn't smoking really, so I mean, does it really need to get freshened up? No, but I have the gaskets coming and I feel much better just knowing that the top end's been gone over. So let me grab some tools and start taking parts off and figure out whether we're doing it right. And now would be a great opportunity for any Magneto experts to chime in and tell me, wait, no, you're not doing this right, but I'm impatient. So I'll start with these 2 and see what happens here. So they're slotted. I know for sure that this will allow me to clock it because it is on a pivot plate. So there's our timing adjustment. Take this nut off, see what happens. Oh well, live and learn. It's the only way to figure things out. In my experience is hands-on. It's all nuts and bolts, so whatever we take apart, we can put back together. In theory. So there's one. Try not to lose the washer here. And let's try and get the rear out now. All this to freshen up a motor that's already pretty fresh. I have a problem. Alright, nuts off. There we go. I think I actually got it right. It would be a really good idea to mark things on here. Oh, I didn't pull the kill switch. We'll just rest this up here. Get that nut out that's stuck. So I was right there. Our O-ring was pinched there too. And we'll just drop this right back on. Okay, so I was correct in my thoughts looking at this. It's always nice when that happens. So essentially, we have our plate that gets fixed into the cam chest here, or the cam cover, with 2 flattened screws. So I was right. When the mag's in, you can't really get to these. Now you can, which will pull off that upper lid, which we're not going to do. We just pulled the mag. So it would be smart to go through and let me pull this electrical tape off this switch connection here. I think it's just a spade connector. No, it's bolted in, of course. So we'll pull the tape up here. Let me grab a screwdriver, loosen this connector, and then we'll just yank the whole mag right off of that back pin. All of this just to get to the bolts on the bottom for the head. So we'll yank this right out of here, and then I'll put this bolt right back in so we don't lose it. Now I get to learn how to retime one of these. Shouldn't be that bad, but there's our mag. Let me find some O-rings and we'll fix that one too, but ignition system is out. We'll add it to the pile of parts. And now we can pop these oil lines loose. Got new seals for these anyway. Like that. Throw those right back in the bin, and then obviously we'll yank these ones off when we get ready to pull the motor. Now, we have plenty of room. Throw one more bolt in here so I don't lose them. And now we should have access to get some wrenches on these really crusty cylinder base nuts. I got 9/16 right here. This one I was able to get loose behind the mag. I wanted to see if I could do that first. These, on the other hand, are going to fight me. Might have to get crafty here. Find a shaved down one. Because I do not have enough meat to get a wrench to turn these. Interesting. Let me look at my toolbox of ground down tools and see what I got. This is fun. I've never had this issue on stock Harley cylinders, but on these repop ones, there's not a lot of meat to get into here. So I got a couple of these loosened up, but I can't get my offset tool in here. Might have to grind down quite a bit, actually. So you can get these ones. Maybe I can loosen up the rest of these around here. The heads come off nice and easy. This is one of the easier head jobs I've done. But that front right is free. The tight one that I can't get to is not that free. And this rear one, come on. Rear one wants to fight me. Front one by the generator is free. Damn. Okay, no longer a fun, quick little project. The front stud is coming out on this one, which, okay, we can deal with that. But this is extremely inconvenient. I might actually take a grinder and grind some of this away. I don't know if I trust the open end on a box wrench here. I mean, we're going to try it, but it's not my favorite method. Alright, so we got lucky on this one. So now I got 3 free on the front cylinder. I think I was able to get to this one. That one's loose. I don't remember on the rear. Maybe. Probably not. Nope. Just trying to do all the ones on each side so I don't have to keep moving you guys back and forth. But this one broke free. Just not a lot of room, especially on these cylinders. So there's that. Front one's loose. And the front one's loose, but it's pulling the stud. Back to the other side. Cue time lapse. That was extremely annoying, but we got all of them off now. So I pulled the front stud here, which is kind of common. That one tends to come up in my experience on most of the iron heads. But one stud pulled, so we're gonna have to re-Loctite that one in. Didn't feel like it stripped anything out, so that should be good. Then we got these ones. And honestly, the last one was one of the more accessible ones. I had a box end on here, and I could feel it trying to round out, so I got lucky. 1/4-inch drive here with a long breaker bar, and it didn't break the cheapo ratchet, so that's a win. But now we're ready to do some love tapping and get these things out of here, which means, let me grab a hammer. Dead blow just to free them and break that gasket seal. And then the fun part. 2 cylinders to yank off of here. Now would be a wonderful time to clean these up. There's definitely some scoring on the back of that piston. The cylinders look much better than the piston does. We'll come around there in a second. But I'm not gonna redo this. Whew. Yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea. Do I replace the pistons? Pistons are cheap. They are standard bore. There's definitely some wearing and scarring here. Yeah, shoot. This is what I didn't want to do. You never know how good a motor is until you actually see it, and I don't necessarily love what I'm seeing. I was excited about the crowns of them, but lots of scoring here. I can feel it with my nail. Like I said, we'll clean up these piston crowns too, but let's go over to the bench and have a gander at these cylinders. So lots of cross hatching on the tops. Obviously this is the bottom where the piston rings don't actually land. You can see a slight ridge. Come on, focus. There is a slight ridge on here. That part looks awesome. That's what you're going for. If we flip this over, not so pretty. Definitely won't impede running. Well, will impede runability. I'm gonna have to price out some pistons because now I've seen it. I can't slap it back together like that. Looking at those. They're not crazy, but it's definitely got some scoring to it. You can feel it with your fingernail. Yeah. I'll clean up these crowns. I'm fairly confident on the bores, so we'll run a hone through these real quick, and then that's going to be in the next video. We'll just do a quick freshen up hone on these jugs, and then we can make a decision. But there's no scoring that I can see, and I'm pretty sure looking at this, a rehone is going to get us in a really good spot. I could cheap out and not do rings, but you might as well just match everything together, unless we're just going to do replacement pistons themselves. I don't know. Got some pricing to do on the internet, figure out what things are going to cost, and then we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things. It's Halloween. We got trick-or-treaters coming, so I'm going to throw candy at children. We'll catch you on the next one. Happy Halloween.